What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your man Noah. We back for the SNT Podcast. You already know what it is. Sit and talk. We are the intersection of sports and culture. Man, we got some good fellas with us this evening. We got LES, we got AD, we got AC, and special guest, my man Adam. What up, Adam? How you feeling, family?
Feeling good.
Good. Fellas, you already know what it is, man. Everybody, make sure you tapped in the movement. See what we got going on Facebook. That's where the essence of this thing began. Check us out across all social media platforms, SNT Sports, sitandtalksports.com. Catch us on Clubhouse. Shout out to my brother Smooth, the best moderator on the app. Sit and Talk room over on Clubhouse is legit. Check us out on YouTube, man. Check out everything we got going on. See the commish. You see the whole gang repping tonight. We got that SNT merch on, man. Make sure you rep the gang. Fellas, we're going to get right into it, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this evening. Big basketball weekend, man. We saw some historic performances. A lot of 50 balls went up. But, man, what if I told you neither one of them 50 balls that went up was the most impressive feat of this weekend? We got to start with the reigning MVP. Jokic did something that hasn't been done in over 50 years. Since Wilt Chamberlain did so, a 40-plus point triple-double at over 70% from the field. And if you factor in the steals and the blocks and everything else, it was one for the ages. What Nikola Jokic is doing is just purely amazing. He is trumping his already reigning MVP season of last year. His metrics are off the charts. It's really special what's going on in Denver, fellas. What are you guys seeing from Nikola Jokic, and what do you guys think about what he did yesterday? Adam, you with us, man, so we're going to rock with you.
I think it's very impressive the way his style of ball, the way he controls and dictates the game, late game, like it's remarkable. Me personally, though,
30 in the fourth in overtime. 30
me personally, though, I think Joel Embiid's MVP because Joel Embiid been playing with his team without no stars, without no real help all year. I mean, Jokic is about to get all his players back. He's about to get Murray back. He's about to get Porter back.
But he ain't had him.
Yeah, his team's still better than the 76ers without. He got look. You don't think his team all around still better than the 76ers without his star player?
All right. So name a player right now that's playing better than Maxey right now that Denver has on that team.
Well, Maxey didn't stop playing good until Harden left.
Nah, Maxey been playing well all year.
Decent.
Maxey been playing well all year, buddy.
Yeah, Maxey's been earning his paycheck this
year.
But
how about this? Who's better than Tobias Harris?
Gordon.
Aaron Gordon is not better than Tobias Harris. He's not.
They're both equally weak.
Yeah, I can say that.
I love it.
But they got the thing about the Nuggets. They got sleeper players. Like they got players that produce. You just don't. They're not big names, so you don't know. You don't know what you're gonna get every night. But Jokic ain't out here balling alone, fam. He's not.
Who we got? Adam, break it down for us, man. I know Barton's had a couple of games.
I'm just saying, like I've watched. I'm not gonna say because I haven't watched too much of Jokic this year. But I know some of their roster. I'm familiar with some of their roster. But I also watched Joel Embiid dominate on every facet of the game, from whether he's getting doubled, whether he's passing, whether he's doing what he got to do. Like I get it. Like Jokic is probably the better player, but my personal opinion, I think Joel Embiid deserved it this year.
That's interesting because Joel has been playing with a max player in Harris all year. He's got another max player in Harden. And Joel Embiid has been playing with like Will Barton and those kind of dudes. And shout out to Gordon, but this is not the same Orlando Aaron Gordon. He's definitely there.
And now he has Jalen. Yeah.
That's fine.
We're gonna swing the mic though. AC, talk to me about Jokic, man. What are you seeing? What do you like? What did you think of yesterday?
He's a great player. It's fun to watch. What to me, as we all know, I like players who play basketball. And he plays basketball, pure and simple. It's weird to see him all fat and whatnot and slow. It's really weird to see how much he dominates and to see that, he hasn't done what a Kevin Love has done, for example, and actually get in shape. Like he's not in shape. It's not pleasing to watch. But one thing that you can see is, yes, he does affect winning, but face the fact, I think they're in sixth place, fifth or sixth place, something like that.
Fourth.
I don't know. Fourth.
Yeah, they moved up.
The Nuggets?
Yep.
I must have missed them. I could have sworn they were in sixth place. but
they're in fourth.
I
apologize, AC.
Yeah.
You are correct. They are in sixth, but it's a 1-game separation.
Yeah. So
between sixth and fourth, it's a 1-game separation.
I don't know where this narrative came that you get more points you get more credit to being the MVP if your team sucks. This is a very recent thing with Russell Westbrook because they had to justify the most undeserved MVP in the history of sports. For years, especially in basketball, the MVP is the best player on the best team. Period.
No.
It's been that way. You're the stats guy. It's been that way for pretty much the entirety. Because if it wasn't, that means you're going to be eliminating the Michael Jordans. You're going to be eliminating Larry Bird. When Larry and Magic and Mike and those guys were winning, winning MVP, they were the best player on the best team. Nobody went, oh, well, Larry Bird has Kevin McHale. Larry Bird's got Robert Parrish. Larry Bird's got such and such. Magic Johnson's got Kareem, so he can't be the MVP. Listen to that argument. That's so foolish. Well, it's a recent thing that you say Joel Embiid should be MVP because his team doesn't have such and such. That's crazy.
I'm going to strongly disagree with that for the simple fact that guys like Shaq has one MVP, one league MVP.
I can't hear.
And you went out for a second, AC. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us?
Technical. Swing the mic.
Let me see. Can you hear us now? AC, hop off and hop back in.
Yep, he did that.
It might be his headphones.
Yeah,
they looked like he had Bluetooth. He might have lost a signal or something.
Man, shout out to C Mills and Wiz. They're gonna clean this right up for us. We're gonna let AC refresh. There we go. Moving forward, I'm definitely. Oh, we got action.
What the hell?
I'll see you, AC. I'll raise you a spicy Ralph.
What's going on?
Peace, Ralph. We just got in the mix. We just lost AC. We're gonna get it right back in a second. We're discussing a few things. We're starting off with Nikola Jokic, who arguably had the best performance of this weekend, despite all the great performances we saw this weekend. Here we go. AC is back. Yeah, there we go. Nice square. No, excuse me, rectangle. 6 of us. AC, can you hear us now?
Mm-hmm.
AC, I don't want to get too lost on this point, but I'm going to counter what you said in terms of the best player on the best team gets the MVP, because if that's the case, Shaq would have about 3 or 4 at least. If that was the case, Steve Nash wouldn't have 2 because Steve Nash was never.
Steve Nash was the best player on the best team.
He was not the best player in the league.
He was one of the best. Okay, but go on.
One, he wasn't the 1 seed, and 2, he wasn't the best player in the league ever.
Okay.
He was the 2 seed when they won it. San Antonio was the 1.
It was pretty impressive what he did with that Suns team.
Absolutely, but to his argument, saying that
1 and 2 seeds are going to be the best. You can be the best team without necessarily being the 1 seed.
Steve Nash wasn't a top 5 player in the league in 05.
What?
He was not a top 5 player.
Like I said, that's where you get sidetracked in those things. But calling Joel Embiid the MVP because his team's in 4th place and he lost the guy or whatever. You said he's played with a max player. Jokic, as great as he's been, 6th place. I don't care. You still got to look at the Greek. I'm not a fan of his, but you still have to look at what Chicago was doing before they hit some injuries and hit the skids. And of course, to me, like I said, the MVP is still Ja right now. He's got a better record than both those teams that you mentioned. You see his impact. But
he's not better than Joel or Jokic, but we're gonna keep moving.
This year, it's one year to year is the award, not every other year.
He has never been better than Embiid or Jokic.
Yeah, but
Ralph,
let me ask you this real quick though, AC. So why is he 5th right now, ranked in the MVP race?
Because of sentiment. Because right now, if you watch TNT, the same thing that they did with Westbrook, the same thing that they did with Jokic last year, is Embiid has been anointed the MVP. He's literally been anointed the MVP right now. They could probably lose the last couple games, and he'd still be the MVP.
Right.
He is leading the league in scoring, though.
No, but did you see the odds? The odds?
I've seen them. The same way that the odds went up for Philly when they got Harden, even though I think he's a detriment, is the same reason that MVP that Joel Embiid is still the favorite to win the MVP.
Fellas, I love this conversation. I do, but we have an agenda this evening. We got a lot of mics to pass around, so we're gonna make sure everyone gets heard on this. Les, you've been waiting patiently, man. Talk to me about what you saw from Jokic yesterday, and what do you think of his game overall?
It made me feel a couple of different ways. And I had to look this up before I started talking because I'm going to trash Danny Ainge for 2 seconds. How do you draft James Jones over Nikola Jokic? Like, how does that happen? You know, like I would punch Danny Ainge dead in his throat right now if I could. Like, how does that happen? This man, Jokic, has had 11 or 10, 8, 9. To me, that's probably the most impressive thing he's doing right now, the assist. He can get buckets. We know he can rebound. The assists, he's probably the best big center passing I've seen in a while, in quite some time. Probably in the last 15 years, maybe. You know, when's the last time Duncan played? Like, no, he's
Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan's a pretty good passer.
Duncan's not a better passer than KG.
He's not a better passer than Paul Gasol either.
Yeah.
The best passing would be Arvydas Sabonis is the best passing big man.
Actually, you know what? Aaron, thank you. That's the name right there. Thank you, Aaron. And then when you look at what he's doing against like the competition, like he's balling. He's using his size, and lastly, to keep it short, because there's a lot of us today. All I hear from younger folks is how athletic and this and that the NBA is. This guy is not athletic. Aaron called him chubby, you know, which I wouldn't call him that.
He's fat.
Okay, I wouldn't say that. I think that's a little. I think
smart.
I don't want no problems with them Jokic brothers, so I'm not gonna say that. You can though.
Jokic is very smart.
But
the floor is less.
That dude's a problem out there. He's messing around with all. You can't bully him. You can't move him.
And he put the fake tough guy in the hospital for like 5 months.
He should be.
AD, talk to me about what Jokic did yesterday. What did you see yesterday? 30 points in the fourth in overtime. 40-plus point triple-double, first time in over 50 years. 70% from the field, just unreal shit.
I'm not shocked by it, because he has the game to do it. To me, Joker right now is better than MD. I just think he's better than him. The reason why I think he's better than him is because he could control the game without scoring. MD can't do that. He'll never be able to do that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, and I kind of disagree with AC. I understand his take on this, being in sixth place and all that.
I'm sorry, bro. I can't get stuck in that MVP rabbit hole. We got a lot of shit to get through. If we got time at the end, we'll get back to the MVP talk. I promise.
But
My fault, AD. I didn't cut you off. I'm gonna be on it today because there's a lot of us. We got to get through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So for me, man, like, everybody's talking about, I kind of brought it up in last week's episode. Like, what people got to understand is that we're playing the world's game now. You know what I mean? We're not playing the American style basketball. We're playing the world style basketball. And Joker, Luka, all those guys will continue to dominate in the NBA because they've been doing this ever since they was 12 years old.
Right.
They will always be able to methodically get their game off because they've been doing it and practicing it and being pros and playing at high levels their whole lives. Right. Absolutely. So kudos to Joker, man. Like it was one hell of a display last night he put up, man.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure. Spicy Ralph, man, glad to have you, man. We ain't seen you in a little while. Always good to have you. Jokic, what did you see from Jokic's performance yesterday? And where does it rank in terms of some of the most all-time performances you've seen?
I mean, it's pretty high up there. I take a little bit of credit off because it's a regular season game, not a playoff game. But in terms of individual performance in the regular season, it's one of the better performances I've seen. I think the best I've probably seen was Kobe versus Portland. I think he had 63 that night. He was just throwing up prayers and it was going in. That was probably the most impressive, but it doesn't matter. I put Jokic somewhere up there. It was very impressive. I think Jokic is having a very good season. His overall game, he's very, very good. I don't think he's better than Embiid because defensively, I think Embiid is better. I think I'd rather have Embiid than Joker, but I think he's very good. I think Joker, this is what Chris Webber should have been. It's very depressing when you think about it like that. But Jokic is an absolute monster. He's revolutionary. I don't know if there's going to be too many more like him moving forward. Like his basketball IQ is extremely high. That's part of the reason why he's so effective. Like he just knows.
I think Jokic. I think he's inspiring a lot of kids over in Europe and just across the world. You know what I mean? People are naturally drawn to who they can identify with. There's a lot of dudes who can look at Nikola Jokic and see themselves. It's hard to look at It's hard to look at a LeBron and see yourself, right? You're never going to be 60. You're never going to be 6'8". You're never going to be able to have a 46-inch vertical. You're never going to be able to do some of the things that he's doing. But in terms of Jokic, yeah, he's got the height. But in terms of just a physical specimen, we would never say he was a specimen. And just the way he plays the game, not using his body, it's this. And there's a lot of young boys, I'm sure, who are studying what he's doing in terms of his impact on that floor, in terms of every facet of the game. Maybe not so much defensively, but the way he impacts everything is definitely going to be inspiring to a lot of young boys coming up playing this game. Man, I don't know the last time I've seen just a polarizing performance like that in a long time. You know what I'm saying? That hasn't been done what he did yesterday in over 50 years. Shout out to Wilt Chamberlain. But that was just one of pretty amazing performances over this NBA weekend, man. We're going to touch on it real quick. 80-year-old LeBron, puts up 50 plus.
Here we go.
It was nice. It was nice to see LeBron be that level at that age.
Wow.
What are we making of it, though? Is this the new playoff mode activated? Is he trying to send a statement? Is this a smoke signal, or is it too late?
Let me raise my hand, please. Like you good fucking kid. No, go ahead. Go first.
AD and AC.
God.
All president, they all want a piece of that.
Whoa!
You know what? I'm gonna position the topic differently to each of you. AD, what did the performance mean? I believe they were a 2 seed before they lost.
Yeah, they was a 2 seed, but to be honest with you, the performance was unbelievable. The one was desperation. I mean, but at the same time, by you saying it's go time, it's playoff mode time, LeBron's out tonight, buddy.
Yeah, that knee is under duress.
left knee soreness. You know what I mean?
It said significant soreness in the injury report.
And you know what it is too. No, I don't want to take away from anything LeBron did last night, but a lot of that was the reason why he was hitting, like he was settling for those threes, is because of that knee soreness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
There's more miles on that left knee than anybody in history through that many games.
And if you look at it, all the wings and guards, when they get that age, that left knee soreness or just knee soreness comes in. Even with MJ, when he came back with the Wizards, both years he came back with the Wizards had knee surgeries. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
They said stuff was coming out of his knee that looked like tar.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. But we all know LeBron, what he does. he takes care of himself. He overexerts himself. You know what I mean? He's constantly working on his body. It's gonna cost him. I mean, when you have LeBron pretty much playing the 5 position all night, that's a problem. That's a problem. Like I said, man, kudos to him. You know what I mean, with the performance. But if we're talking about long term, like, man, I mean, for the Lakers, if I was them, I'd just be thinking about, let's get ready for the play-in, and whoever we get playing the play-in.
If you make it,
they're gonna make the play-in.
Yeah, they're what are they? What seed are they? 9th now?
They're not. They're the 9th seed right now.
Right.
They're barely clinging on to this
5
play.
games back.
They're not in the playoffs right now.
Right. They're in the play-in because the play-in is 7 through
Right.
10. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. They got to get, like, I don't think they're gonna get above 7. I don't see that. So psychologically, they got to get themselves ready for the play-in. Get my man street clothes. Get them out those street clothes. You know what I mean? And
my man got all the jean suits.
And like I kind of agree with Magic Johnson said. You know what I mean? He kind of brought it back up to me. I kind of forgot in '91 how the Lakers were struggling, and everybody threw them under the bus. And in the last 2 months, they were the hottest team in the NBA and rode it all the way to the finals.
And they knocked out Portland, who was the 1 seed.
Exactly. And Clyde was going back to back. Like Clyde went to like the finals like 3 out of those 4 years.
Right. They lost to Detroit the year before.
Right. And then played Mike, and then they played Mike the year after.
Right, in '92.
So kudos to LeBron, man. Am I shocked that he went for 56? No. I was kind of shocked on the efficiency of it, though. I will say that I didn't expect his jump shot to be on like that, because I could see that he was laboring that leg after those explosive dunks early.
Yeah, he was definitely laboring. AC, I saw the disgruntled look in your face, and I always like to call on you shortly after I see that. I get some of the rawness. LeBron's 56-point performance. Talk to me.
It's cool. It's a cool blurb. It should just go across people's screen, and then we should all just keep moving and not even freaking talk about it, because they're not in the playoffs. And if Brandon Ingram scored 56 points yesterday, we would go, oh, yeah, that's cool. And right now, the Lakers they're the same position as the Pelicans. LeBron is in a team that's not in the playoffs. It's great because of his age. And everything that anybody can say about LeBron, if you don't have him in your top 3, in your top 5, or whatever, then you're an idiot. If you don't say that he is without question one of the best players, period. Forget basketball, but statistically and with the eye test, if you don't say he's not one of the best team sports players in the history of the world, then you're an idiot. However, why are we talking about the Lakers? We should not be talking about the Lakers. We should not be talking about the Nets. We should not be talking about any last place team. They scored the Los Angeles Lakers are 28-35. Mm-hmm. LeBron's 56 points, all it did was keep them out of the playoffs. This was no epic performance where he willed his team into some great position and now they got to ride it. No. All it did was keep them out of the playoffs. It didn't do anything. And we've given way too much airtime to these useless 56 points. We've given way too much airtime to a team that's out of the playoffs. And we cannot continue. I think TNT, ESPN, you're seeing a bunch of fans hold up signs. Stop putting the Knicks and Lakers on national TV. Have you seen those? What is going on why are we watching teams that have a losing record? And it's not even like this is like a anomaly. They've been this way. They've been this way for the whole time. That's what I have to say about it. Way too much time on LeBron. I don't give him any extra credit because I expect this from him. Even
at 37 in year 19?
You can't be LeBron. If you follow his Instagram and stuff like that, you can't be LeBron and put out when you do something good. You can't go just a kid from Akron and year 19 still grinding when you win, and then act like the other 60 games your team's not under 500 when you don't win. So if he wants the credit for getting 56 and at age 37 or whatever he is, then he's got to get the criticism for still collecting them checks at age 37 when his team is under 500.
Well, I mean, he's definitely earned them paychecks. If you followed
his team's under 500, he put the team together. He's a GM. He deserves every bit of criticism he's getting.
He's not the GM. He's clearly on record saying that he wanted Westbrook.
And nobody believes that portion. He's the one who got him. And we sat here on this show. And said this is one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen. Anyone who watches basketball,
I was the first person to say it was an awful move.
Knew it wasn't going to work.
The minute it happened, you can see my post in the group. But we certainly appreciate that, AC. Your perspective is always valued. We're going to go Les, Ralph, and then we're going to close this LeBron statement with none other than Mr. Nunley. Les,
I'm
not going to not take advantage of my man Adam being here. You heard?
Oh yeah, we got to definitely give him extra time. So I'll try and be quick here too. Hey, I don't. Aaron said a lot of things I wanted to say. I think it's amazing that he's playing at this level, skill wise, and all that other stuff. But his play, I feel two ways about it, because like Aaron said again, you got to give him the praise, but you also got to give him the criticism as well. So, and that's where I'm at with it. I don't think we'll see another person like LeBron for a while, so I think it's impressive. It looks like he played his butt off. His knees hurting, so he needs a break. I get it. He's getting older, so hopefully he can continue to play and he can drag this poor ass Laker team into the playoffs, because they're terrible. They suck. I'm a little irked that people are giving him credit for other things, though, as you're giving him credit for doing good things. Like, for example, him playing center. Like, what's the big deal? Like, Kevin Looney's, like, I just looked it up, is 6'9", dude. He's not some big ass center beating LeBron up in the post. These centers are taking jump shots. But they're not taking advantage of size advantages. It's not like playing center is hurting him and slowing him down. If anything, it's making him even more effective, because the people that are guarding him, the matchup's going to be off because of his size and everything.
I mean, that's easy for us to say. 6 dudes sitting on their asses. If LeBron doesn't play center, he's not a center. He doesn't train to be a center. The fact that he has to play center and he's being effective playing center absolutely should be noted.
Oh, it shouldn't be, because he's the most physical present. He's one of the most physical people in the game. He's 6'9", 8, 260 something. He puts his ass into Kevin Looney, and Looney's out of there. Like, not like he's getting beat. It's not like he's playing Jokic and Embiid every night.
Nothing less. There's a 6'8", 260 guy on every single team in the league.
Yeah, and they're not probably covering LeBron, because of the way this league is. They probably got a small guy on LeBron.
Well, because they can't, and I think that should be noted as well.
Okay, so then how is he being punished?
Why would he be punished?
I'll bring it back to you, Ant. You said he's playing center and
he's playing center. Mm-hmm. So that means when you're down, you're playing down low more. LeBron's not used to playing down low and defending.
Who's taking advantage of LeBron James down low?
This wasn't the first game he played center, Les.
I know. I've seen a lot of his games. That team is on TV all the time for some odd reason. Yeah, I don't get it.
And LeBron be getting torched down low. He loses assignments. He's
losing assignments to anybody, not just big men. Hold on, Athena.
Hear him less.
My fault. Go ahead. My fault.
When you're not used to doing something, your whole life you've been doing stuff on the wing. When you're doing stuff down low, it's a little bit different. And like he's doing uncharacteristic mental breakdowns on defense that he doesn't do on the wing, because he's always used to playing on the wing.
He's completely out of his element, but has to answer the call. I mean, what happens when you take a corner who plays the left side of the field and moves him to the right?
Completely different.
I'm going to disagree with y'all, because I see him making mental breakdowns even on the wing when he's covering people.
Right, Les, but now you're nitpicking.
No, I'm not. I mean, like, he's older.
No.
Hold on, fellas.
He's
Hold
older.
on. You don't have.
He's an older man.
Let me just reel it in real quick.
Okay.
We're losing sight of the conversation.
Oh, my fault. Move on, because I want Adam to get it off.
Absolutely.
Pause.
Yes, you understand. Spicy Ralph, and then my man Adam.
So the performance was great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It meant nothing. I don't know why the Lakers aren't trying to tank. Y'all know my motto: either go for a championship or tank. I have the 5 schools why the Lakers are even attempting to win. The only number 1 pick they own is this year's. That's it. The rest of them, the next 5 years, are traded to somebody else. The only chance you have of being good anytime soon is getting this next pick right. So you might want to get a good one. You might want to bench LeBron, let him get the Ben Simmons treatment. He's hurt. His mind hurts, whatever. Let Russell Westbrook play and let tank. Y'all need to get as close to a top 3 pick as you possibly can to have any chance of being somewhat good next year, because they're over the cap. Nobody wants to go there because nobody wants to go there. They don't have the cap.
That's not true, Ralph. They're one of the most historic franchises in any sport. People are always going to.
Everybody wants to go there.
I challenge you to give me 10 people that went to LA.
It's not even that. They just can't tank. They'll get fined simply because they're the Lakers, and it's obvious that they're tanking.
That's not true. You remember 2 years?
That's not true.
No, that's not true. 3 years ago.
You don't think if they say LeBron, no one's gonna say nothing?
Yes,
no one will say anything. No one will say anything because they're the Lakers.
They had a young Lonzo Ball in them, and LeBron for the last 10 games. That's a fact. He said like last 10 games, he did not play. He played. Remember that was the year he got hurt. He came back. He played 15 games. He said playoff mode is activated. They lost every game after that, and then all of a sudden he hurt his knee, and then
Lonzo Ball and Ingram were both out as well. That year, their starters played 19 games together.
But the point is, LeBron was healthy enough to play, and he didn't play. That's all I'm saying. They could do exactly what I just said. That would be in their best interest of the team is to tank because they're trash. Even if they go to the playoffs, what are they going to do? Lose in the first round? What's the point?
Mm-hmm. They don't even have like the mint scent on their trash bags over there.
My point is, their best bet at prosperity in the near future is get a top 5 pick, either trade it or use it. But
we appreciate the GM take, but we're talking about LeBron's 50 points.
I'm saying it was worthless, and that is why. Because it meant nothing. They'd be better off losing.
They fucking up the draft money.
That's exactly.
Man, last but never the least, my man Adam Nunley. Talk to us, man. What did you see from Braun? 56 points, big game against the number 2 seed in the West. No AD. Westbrook still got his head up his ass. 4th oldest team all time.
So my opinion is, I kind of agree with everyone else. Like, it really isn't nothing because it didn't put him in a place in the conference. It's impressive because he's older. And he's not. And let's face it, he's not supposed to be playing at a high level like this at this age. And at the end of the day, y'all say like, yeah, they're out of the playoffs. If they get in that playing game, I'm gonna tell you enough. They get in that playing game and say they draw a team like Memphis. If they get past the playing game, they get Memphis. I personally think the Lakers can upset Memphis.
Man, you've been watching a lot of NBA TV.
Listen, it's not even that. It's not even that. Memphis is inconsistent. I went to the Celtics game the other night, and when I tell you that, and you know me, I hate Boston. I hate Boston. When I tell you, like, for a team that came in as hard as Memphis did, they just have inconsistencies where they're not ready yet. And I think if, like you said, if Anthony Davis comes back, depending on what AD you get, I think they can upset Memphis. I don't know how far they're going to go after that.
That's actually a good point, Adam.
Like,
he's right.
For real.
It sounds so crazy saying a Lakers team with Westbrook, LeBron, and AD have to upset Memphis.
I know. You're telling me, crazy. Like, I never in a million years thought that LeBron would be battling for a playing game 2 years in a row. Like we're talking about LeBron here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, that's what made me realize, like, when all y'all dudes be talking trash, I'm like, y'all are right. Like, I keep I want him to. He's the best player. He's one of the best players, stuff like that. Y'all have to hold him accountable and to go off of what Ace said. Like he's right. Like you can't say I'm the kid from Akron. I'm the kid this, that, and the third when you're doing good, and then when you lose, it's like it's silence. You know what I mean? Like so, I get it. I get why dudes don't respect LeBron. I get why. But anyway, talking about the 50-point game, I think it's gonna jumpstart them a little bit. But like I don't know because. I knew it. Like, was I talking to you, AD, when we were talking about?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna play next game. I knew he wasn't gonna play. I knew it. Like I knew it, and that's the shit. You can't have him put out a dominant performance, and like when LeBron has to score 50 to win, that is not a good look. It's not. It's not like, and it's like, and they didn't win by a huge margin. They won by like 5 or 6 points.
Right.
And he put 56, shooting at a high clip. Like I don't know. Like I personally think. If we get in the play-in, we're gonna win the play-in. It all depends who we draw first round. But then again, it's like it's tough. It's tough. Like the Lakers just not a good team. They're not a good team, and I can't even watch them no more.
Adam, can I ask you one quick question? Yeah. And I'm not coming for LeBron. I'm actually gonna give him a compliment. How do you feel about his free throw shooting as of late?
He's always been terrible. Like
no, but
he's up and down. He's not consistent. I get it.
Last night he was smoking.
Oh yeah, he only missed one. Yeah. He was 11 for 12. He's like 11 for 12 or some shit. But he don't do that consistent. He don't do that consistently.
If he starts making free throws like that, his scoring average is going to probably go up.
What LeBron is, he's a streaky shooter. So what you got to worry about if LeBron's hitting shots, then he's tough. He's real tough to guard. Like he's always been like that his whole career. So like it was impressive. Granted, it was against the Warriors. Yeah, I mean they were the second team, but it's like y'all said, it doesn't mean anything. They didn't move up in conference. They didn't move, and now that just means now LeBron ain't playing tonight, and this is a win they need. Like, you know what I mean? Like
fair points, fellas. I'm gonna wrap it up on this. Jay-Z said it famously. You know, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think LeBron has been super accountable for losses. He's been very, very vocal about his team not playing good basketball, them struggling. He's been very, very accountable to it all season long. What I will say is this: when you reach that kind of a status, you can never do anything good enough. Nothing you do, you can have a post-game interview at every loss and own the loss and be accountable to the loss, and people are going to say exactly what we're saying. Oh, he only talks about when he's doing good. My last point about it is the NBA separates the data for a reason. There is individual data for players, and there is team data for teams. A 50-point game is a 50-point game. Mike scored 63 in a loss. We still talk about it almost 40 years later.
He got swept that round.
He got swept, but his 63 is still discussed because it's an amazing performance. It's a major individual performance. You don't see 50-point games every night. You don't see 50-point games every week. You don't see 50-point games every month. So I think we all get a little dejected from being able to separate an individual performance from the team outcome. They're two entirely different things. That's why the NBA records player data separate from team data. It is true, AC.
No.
Player data is recorded separately from team data.
The team data correlates from the player data. So 50-point games generally and higher point scoring games generally are coming in closer games and losses. Generally, that's what the data says. But I don't want to get into that too much.
That's
but
incorrect.
Yeah.
That's incorrect. But moreover, we spent half the segment not talking about the individual performance and talking about the team performance when that wasn't even the point of the segment. We're going to move on to another 50 ball that we saw this weekend. This guy is significantly younger than the last. Jason Tatum, 54 points.
Let me go first on this one real quick, too.
I got you.
Watch yourself, AD. Watch yourself.
I mean, he got on the Celtics green. I had to let him go first.
Oh, if you get spicy with my Celtics, AD, I'm going to find out where you live.
First of all,
fellas, I got to be on top of the side talk. We got a lot of mouths in this episode, so we're going to be intentional about this time. 54 points from the young man, Jason Tatum, who just celebrated his 24th birthday. The guy is top 10 in scoring in the league. He is blossoming into what we all thought he would. AD, what did you see from the 54 points from this guy?
He's a superstar. Like I've been trying to tell everybody in Boston for a while, like he's becoming a superstar.
Superstar?
Yeah, he's becoming a superstar. He was already a star, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna let you rock, but we're gonna circle back on that.
All right. So I think he's becoming a superstar. And the reason why I think he's becoming a superstar now is because he's actually getting his within the offense. Um, the Celtics, a lot of people just, don't give the Celtics credit. Since January 29th, they're the hottest team in the NBA. They're 16-3. They have now taken the number one seed from Golden State as the best defensive team in the league. Adam kind of touched on it. That's why Ja Morant and them lost. The defense, they didn't expect that intensity at the beginning of the game, and that's why they was playing catch up. That's what that was. What I'm impressed about Jason Tatum, I think Jason Tatum 1-on-1 has top three. It has the top three 1-on-1 games in the NBA. When I watch him, it's an art. He gets whatever he wants. It looks incredible when he's dribbling. Like the smoothness of it is unbelievable. And he's starting to pull up on people like KD. Like he's really like starting to use his length.
Strength.
But the most impressive thing about Jason Tatum now is that he's learning how to pass the ball. He's learning how to pass the ball. He's averaging 5 assists now, and that's what, a lot of people, that's what they look at for their scorers. You could go to D Wade, you could go to the Jordans, you could go to Kobe's. Their games took off to the next level once they started winning. Once they started becoming better passers, and these 19-20 games that I've been seeing, why they've been doing so well, that ball is moving. It's not sticking like it was at the beginning, and now they're defending. Even in this, like in the last 10 games I watched with the Celtics, I can't say they took more than 15 like bad shots. Rush shots, yes. Bad shots, no. They're not taking bad shots. And that comes from your best player. That feeds off your best player. And kudos to Tatum, man.
Fair points. Les, resident Celtics fan, and then we'll go AC after that, who's a Celtics guy as well. Adam hates the Celtics, so we're gonna get Adam.
I respect it.
All right. Les, talk to me about Tatum's 54.
Thought it was a smooth 54. He was killing them dudes. The thing that I'm starting to like even more and more about Tatum, and things I was preaching like in the group that he needs to do, he needs to start going inside more. He's getting more physical now. He's getting to the paint more. I still think he shoots the three a little bit too much. I still think he dances a little bit too much when he should just take his man and go. But then I love the way he's pulling up for the mid range now. He's taking advantage of smaller people. Like Kyrie had no chance covering him. The times they put him out there. What I would have liked to see, instead of Tatum, constructive criticism here, instead of Tatum shooting the jumpers on Kyrie, I would have loved to see him physically put Kyrie in a position where he would get more fouls on him and things of that nature. But that's just me being an old school dude. Like, if you're that big on a dude, like I'm putting you on my back and I'm making you foul me.
That's not his strong suit, Les. He's less effective trying to do that.
But you know what? That should become part of his game, though. To me, that's the next logical spot of his game, because once he can start doing that, what do you do with him? Like because you can't, because if you put a big on him, he can go by the big. You put a small on him, you can hope that he's cold that night and he just keeps shooting. But back to the game, I mean, he was like 8 for 15 from the field. He was 8 from 15 from 3. Like, I don't think I've ever seen
30 from the field, 8 of 15 from the 3.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't think I've seen a balance shooting game like that from him in quite some time. That was pretty impressive, the way he was getting those points.
Fair. Let's mix it up. Let's get some objectivity in here. Adam,
I thought I was pretty objective. I criticized him a little bit.
I just said, like, as an analyst, you're a Celtics fan.
Listen, I will say this: like watching Tatum, like I went to the game and stuff like that. Like his game is becoming more and more like effortless to score. Like the way he got the ball on the string, the way his mid range, his game improved dramatically. Like I can't even like watching him play is like he got good. He got good real fast. Like and like on top, like he was good. Like he was good when he came in the league.
Okay.
Like the way he was scoring the other night, you know what I mean? Like y'all was saying, oh, Durant didn't want to guard him. Durant was back and stuff like that. Like, if you remember last year in the playoffs, he didn't have Jalen. So he was still cooking the Nets. So, like, he's good. Like, and I think he's arrived, like, in like to pick off what the rest of y'all saying, like, he's learning to be a leader now. So now it's like they got the number one defense. He sets the tone. He's not scared. He doesn't shy away from shots. And the Celtics are playing team basketball now at the end of the game. So their fault, they didn't have a pecking order. They didn't know who to go to at the end of games, and they'd force shots, they'd force all these, like, and then that's how they were losing. They didn't know how to like put the game together at the end of the game. That's how they were losing. But now they got a pecking order. Now they know who gets the ball, who's going in the crucial moments and whatnot. But I think I'd like to pick off what AD said. I think Tatum's about to be a superstar. Like honestly, and you know me, I hate the Celtics. But watching him like now, it's like he has no fear. Like he doesn't, like he does settle for shots still, but like if he wants to score, he's going to score, and they ain't no one on the other side that's gonna be able to guard him. So like, I don't know. Trust me, when I find myself talking good about the Celtics, I want to check myself. Like,
why do you hate the Celtics?
Because your fans. I hate your fans. Like, you guys are so like. It's like you guys.
So like you?
No, it's not me. It's not me. It's just like you guys are so arrogant, and it's like
for no reason.
Yeah,
for no reason. Like,
you guys have won championship in 20 years, and like you guys talk like you won the championship every year.
More than that. More than 30 years.
Anyways, to just finish off what I was saying, like I think Tatum has arrived, and I'm telling you right now, you can quote me on this. If things fall in place, because Tatum's not scared of Giannis either, but Giannis is going to come dominant. So regardless, Giannis is going to show up. I think this is the year the Celtics make the finals. I really do. I'm telling you, because the way they're playing defense, and now I'm telling you, all right. Yeah, and I hate them. You know me, I hate them. But I'm gonna admit that, like
you might be a prisoner of the moment right now.
Might.
Ralph in AC.
Got no more drinks after that.
Jason, that was one of the better games that I've seen Tatum play, and not because of 54 points, but Doris Burke and Mark Jackson, who I have no idea how they keep getting national games. They actually made a fantastic point, which is something that we know that I pay attention to. Tatum only had 3 assists in that game, but that's the final number. But anybody who watched that basketball game saw that there were many occasions where he was being doubled or he didn't have a good shot. And instead of doing the stupid Kobe step back nonsense, he passed the ball to somebody who was open. And then even if I think it was Doris Burke who said it, is Jason Tatum has like 4 or 5 hockey assists in this game. So when he had a bad shot, he was passing out the double, he was throwing it cross court, and he was setting somebody else up, even if he didn't get the final assist. And to me, that's been the difference. I can't let this conversation go by without pointing out that in this stretch of Celtics praise and filleting, the only team that they beat, the only complete team that they beat was Memphis.
Was Memphis.
That's it.
I'm glad you didn't see your Nets team too.
I'm glad you said that, Aaron.
So that does change things for me, but the difference between Tatum at the beginning of the year when he was horrible. As I said, this was the worst start that I've seen him have to a season. That game yesterday, if Tatum plays like that, to where he can still score his points and you know, I think he did make a couple bad shots, but where he can still score his points and do that. And they are consistently where he's in that 30+ range or that 25 to 30 range, and then Brown is getting his. That's a good team. Jason Tatum, when he's 8 for 32 and he's got, you know, 35 points and such, the Celtics are a 500 team, and it's clear as day. So he can have his big scoring games, even though it only said 3 assists. Jason Tatum was clearly the best player on the basketball court yesterday or Sunday, whatever day it is today. He
wanted no part of him.
That is the difference between what I call good basketball and what it is. The man shot, you know, 30 shots, which generally isn't good basketball, but how many times did you look up and go, oh, he's – of course, at the end of the game, they're keeping track of his points. But throughout most of the game, he had a game like Reggie used to have, like even Jordan used to have, where you look up, he's got 26. And you're like, oh, like Reggie Lewis used to drop 25, and you didn't even know he shot the ball. Tatum had a quarter like that. I think he had 19 or something in the third.
In the third quarter.
And until they started talking about it, of course, at the end of the quarter, I didn't even notice. That's good basketball. And the Celtics with that team, and also I will give credit to Ime, because he was horrific in the beginning of the year. He didn't know what he was doing. It was clear as day. And of course, I didn't want to go too hard at him being what he looks like, but I think we can all admit that he was trash at the beginning of the year. But it's so satisfying for me to see that he has at least learned and grown some balls and said, I'm not going to play 15 freaking people like it's kiddie ball. He's shortened his rotation. He's going with the guys that are going to help him win. And whatever he has said to Tatum, I disagree with Adam. He's still not a leader. He's still very soft. Nobody looks to him for whatever.
Hold on.
I wouldn't follow him. I wouldn't follow him through a paper bag. He's not a leader. He's not. He's the best player, but he's not the leader. It's clear as day. Marcus Smart, unfortunately, is the leader of the basketball team. He shouldn't be. But when Marcus Smart has 9 assists and he only shoots 5 threes or 4 threes or whatever it was that he shot yesterday, that's a good basketball team. Jason Tatum, he yells and he flexes a couple times, but no one's looking to him during the game. He's not revving people up during the game. He's not the leader.
I get it. No, I get what you're saying. You're right.
Jason Tatum's game yesterday was one of the better games of his career. Period. Absolutely. And you could see it.
AC, I think that's a great point, man. I was surprised that it took to my fifth guy to go ahead and say something about Ime. Shout out to that brother. Obviously, my perspective is a little different than yours, AC. I don't know how you step into a situation with someone's dysfunction and turn it around immediately. It took him building the culture and him building the foundation as to what they're building on currently. So big shout outs to Ime. Obviously, he looks like us. Obviously, we're rooting for him. Obviously, he's from my organization, so I wanted to see him do well regardless. Ralph, we're going to let you touch on it, then we got to move forward.
So real quick,
AC actually stole your turn. I did say Ralph, then AC, but AC bullied you out of your turn because you don't have a sit and talk shirt on. That's why.
You told me.
What Tatum did was very impressive. However, I've seen this before. He's still not a superstar because he's inconsistent. He's done it like this has happened before. I don't know if y'all forgot, but like last year, I think they played. He went to LA, killed the Lakers, played the Clippers the following night, went to the locker room, told Kawhi and Paul George, lace it up. Y'all about to get this work and give him 40. You remember that? That was last year. He arrived. Look at Jason Tatum. What happened the rest of the year? He was got the playoffs. I need more than this.
Whoa.
He was in
the playoffs.
Yeah,
he had 40 something on Durant's head in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
The Nets. The only reason why he didn't win is because you're not.
Yes.
No, he didn't cook us.
He didn't.
He had one good game.
He had the 40.
Y'all bugging out.
One good game.
Y'all wrong right now. Y'all bugging right now. Y'all doing.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait. The Nets won the series 4-2, right?
No, 4-1.
4-1. It was, yeah, like let's not.
Tatum had, I believe Tatum had 50 the one game they beat us.
And he was asked.
So hold on. So the man had 50 and 40, and you're telling me like it's just nothing.
Those is one game. Those is one game, AC.
What about the rest of the season and the rest of the playoffs? That's great. He had a couple of good games. What about the rest of the year? That's my point. I need consistency.
Tatum had 32. He had 40. He had 50. He had one terrible game when he had 9 points.
In blowout losses, those points were empty points. That's what he's saying.
But he didn't have Jalen. That's pretty impressive for someone.
They're still empty points. I don't care if he didn't have whoever. They're still empty points.
At the end of the day, if you're a superstar, it's got to be at least be close. It can't be like you
guys get it misconstrued.
Y'all are taking the words out of no. That's not what I said.
He's not there yet. I need him.
He's becoming, and
but he's been becoming for 2 or 3 years now. I need him to get there.
That's not what I said.
Like he's been the same tier for about 2 or 3 years now.
Ralph, I hear you.
Take a step forward.
I hear you, but
fellas,
only 23. Yo, he's only 23 years old. Fam.
He's 24
now.
He just turned 24 yesterday.
It does not matter.
Hey Ralph, can I just say one quick thing?
How old is Luka, Adam?
24.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Ralph, let me just say one quick thing, because I hear where you're trying to go with this, but I'm going to use Giannis for a quick second. And if you took Giannis and Tatum and you put their years side by side, year for year, Giannis rookie, Tatum rookie, first year, second year, and keep going. Tatum is progressing faster than Giannis is.
But it's a completely different trajectory, Les. It's a completely different trajectory. And I like Tatum. I don't know if Tatum ever reaches what Giannis is. The trajectories are different. Giannis's looks like this more so, and Tatum's is more steady, growing gradually.
Please record that, please, for posterity.
Yeah,
record what Noah just said, because I'm going to use that.
Yeah, and Noah, I actually want to say this. We're going to have to debate about this maybe on another show or in the group, because I'm going to come for you because of your production comments.
Thank you. Les just gave you a stat, and the data's the data, and you just said you know damn well that even though the data matches, it's different trajectories. Thank you. I rest my case. Please record that.
I'm not talking about the early years. Tatum's first 5 years are better than Giannis's first 5 years based on the data. I'm not talking about the beginning of their careers. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the apex.
Oh, here we go.
I'm talking about the apex. Hold on, Adam. I'm talking about the apex. I'm talking about where Giannis is in terms of impacting the game on every level, in terms of the defense, in terms of the facilitation, in terms of all of that. That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, the first 5 years of Tatum's career are considerably better than Giannis's. That's not what I'm arguing. That's a fact. I'm talking about where Giannis is. I don't know if Tatum's trajectory gets him there. But I will say this. Any 50-point game is a 50-point game. It should be acknowledged. It will be acknowledged. It will be on SportsCenter. It will be on every sports outlet. 50 points is very difficult to do. AD's played at every level. AD can tell you how hard it is to score 50, period. Let alone against a really good team. Let alone to do it at 16 for 30 and 8 from 15 from 3. That's difficult within itself. It will always be acknowledged. A 50 ball is a 50 ball. Shout out to Jason Tatum. I will say this. If Jason Tatum scores 54 points and you guys win by 6, that's a problem. And I also will say, again, we've acknowledged the 50-point game. The only good team that you guys have beaten this span has been Memphis. That's complete.
Hold on.
And lastly, but I gotta move AD. And lastly, Jason Tatum's career averages 19 points a game when Ben Simmons is checking him. Check us when Ben Simmons is playing.
38%. 38%.
Y'all said, I just want to say, y'all said Tatum didn't cook the next series. He averaged 35 and 4.
No, he didn't average 35.
No, he averaged 30 points,
mm-hmm.
5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
And every game they lost by double digits.
I understand that. The Nets were a better team. But to say Jason Tatum didn't cook, that's kind of crazy. Knowing he was the main focus because he didn't have Jalen. So to say he didn't cook and he averaged 30 points a game is pretty wild.
They were crowding the hell out of him.
They were down 20 heading into the fourth quarter.
I'm not saying they were the better team, Noah. I'm saying
what I'm saying is this is the only time that I agree with Aaron's take on hollow points. When you're down 20 and the other team is sitting their starters and you're scoring at will in the fourth quarter, those are what we call hollow points.
It just so happens that you finally agree with the hollow point thing against your team.
No, I'll just what I'll say to hollow points. There's a very, very tiny percentage of a player's career which he's actually in a period of the game to score hollow points. Tatum is not going to be down 20 points every fourth quarter.
Yo, it's going to be
in Tatum's career. He would have spent less than 5% of his career down 20 points in the fourth. So the sample size of which you can actually score these hollow points is minuscule when you look at a grand scheme of a career. I will say that, fellas, we gotta jump on a plane real quick and talk about an international issue that's taking place. We're not going to spend too much time on it, man, but it's noteworthy. Brittany Griner is currently facing 10 years for hashish oil. This is the wrong time to be in a Russian prison. I will tell you that. Vladimir
That's an American.
Not playing with nobody. He's already threatened America. She's facing 10 years for hashish oil. The last person that was under this kind of penalty from the country of Russia was actually pardoned by Putin, but this was a Russian woman. From what I'm hearing, because Brittany is 1, 6'9", 2, black, 3, gay, Putin might try to make an example out of her. Mm-hmm. What comes out of this? We're not going to spend too much time on this, but is Brittany Griner about to do 10? Is she about to do a 10-piece in Russia? AC, Mr. International, talk to us.
She won't do 10 simply because of the international scrutiny, but I hope that she gets some time. As a frequent traveler, I see people making faces, but I've had this conversation and it's happened several times. The things that you just described. She's 6'9", she's black, and she's gay. It's not her first time in Russia. She knows that she's being looked at, and I've dealt with these type of entitled hippie people before, where they think they can just go to any country and do what they want. I've seen, entitled English drunk white dudes in Thailand think that they could just say and do anything, and then here come the police. 5 years, get the hell out of here. Brittany Griner, as a professional athlete, especially as a female basketball player, they all play in Europe every year. She's played over there. Mm-hmm. She makes her money in the NBA, but her real money comes from Europe.
They make the majority of their money over there.
Their money comes from Europe. She has played in Russia. She has played in Europe. She knows the rules. I feel that she thought that she could get away with it. I don't understand it. Let's forget everything. She has a TV. She has a phone. She knows the war is going on. In fact, she was leaving Russia to flee because of the war. So you mean to tell me, all right, this country is going to war. Let me grab my hashish oil, which, and as a traveler, I take melatonin to go to sleep sometimes. I work out, so I take pre-workout. I check the country before I'm going because melatonin is perfectly legal in the United States of America. Melatonin is not legal in England. Melatonin is not legal in Thailand. So I don't want them searching my bags because I'm very well aware that I'm a black, usually bald man traveling. So I'm very well aware that they're going to check my bag. And if they could find any excuse to put me, with the peak, to put me in jail.
Like a super villain.
So I hope that they use, because of international scrutiny, I hope she gets like a month. Well, hope is the wrong word. I expect her to get a month or so. So as an example, like you said, I don't think she's going to get 10 years. It's just not going to happen right now. But I really feel, I'm really curious to see what she does, because she has said things in the past where she's demonstrated her sense of entitlement, where she's also the same person who said she should make as much as LeBron and all kinds of right. All kind. Yeah, I'm as good as DeMarcus Cousins. I can do this, do that. I really feel that she's in Russia. She wanted her oil, which she had to know. Like she had to know that. And you see all these comments online. Oh, and she saw it's nothing, but it's just weed, blah, blah, blah. Or it's legal here. It's not legal there. Like, and I really feel that she did it, feeling that she just get away with it, be no thing. So there should be some penalty for it because it puts travelers like myself under even more scrutiny for next time. And how you said it delays me even more for next time.
Oh yeah. We're not going to get everybody on this one because I want to start splitting it up a little bit. Les, talk to me about Brittany Griner. What do you see coming out of this?
Pure ignorance on her on her
Is
part.
that a mix of ignorance and arrogance?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
And I think
a shirt that says that.
And I also
Ignorance.
think that she is going to do time. I don't know how much. I don't know if Putin cares about the scrutiny, but I was reading this story, and for her to have the gall to think that this is the thing to do, she has a. Damn, I'm about to bite Aaron. She has a phone. She has the internet. We think she has internet. She has TV. There's a bleeping war on the border, and you're trying to get out of there, and you think the best thing, you can't wait until you get home to get this? Like, you can't wait a few hours? That kind of makes me think, are people like either dumb or they just really addicted to not being able to leave things alone for a certain amount of times? It's kind of, it's really making me kind of pissed, actually, that she's even in this situation. It's like the ball kid. You're in China and you're stealing in a communist bleeping country, and you expect someone to get you out because you're American and famous. Like, what's wrong with these people?
No bleeping, fam. You can swear. It's all right.
Dude,
give you permission.
Yo, I'm sorry. After the DC man, he dropped the N-bomb last week. I'm trying to, get it back. But I don't understand why people do things like that. And then there's stupid people that are going to see this, and they're gonna call me or they're gonna call Aaron names, and they're gonna say, oh, blah 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 blah. Yo, y'all are ignorant by co-signing this bullshit.
Now,
this is why people do more bullshit, because people co-sign a lot of bullshit in 2022 and 2021 in the past.
Right.
You can literally do any crime you want, and you can. Someone's gonna be like, "Yo, look at the gambling thing," which I don't know if it's coming up, but look at gambling.
Hold on. Let's jump the gun. This is what I do.
I'm sorry, my fault. I got hot. I got a little hot because the.
Well, we gotta keep it moving. I will say this, man. I don't know Brittany Griner. I'm a fan of her game. I don't know her personally to have any opinion worth anything. I'm gonna say I hope it was an oversight. I've forgotten things in my bag. I've never been rushing out of a country due to an impending war. So I am going to give Brittany the benefit of the doubt and say the hashish oil might have been an oversight. I mean, to sit here and say that any of you would have been in the right state of mind, packing all your shit to get out of a country that is heading into war, you might think highly of yourselves than I do.
I can think highly of myself and say I'm not having hashish oil in my bag. I'm positive that I ain't having that in my bag.
Positive. As much weed as I smoke, I am not bringing no weed.
I appreciate that. Fellas, we got another situation that's making headlines. Alabama wide receiver, Atlanta Falcons receiver, Calvin Ridley, who stepped away from football in the middle of last season due to some mental health issues, and we've touched on mental health here on the show in many different fashions. He has just been suspended for the entire upcoming season due to gambling. This man has been betting on sports games while he was away from football for a non-football related matter.
$1,500 is a lot of money for betting.
They have taken his entire season away. He will now be away from the game of football for nearly 2 years before he's eligible to return. AC, I hate to keep calling on you, man, but some of these things touch right at home for you as a successful sports bettor. What does this mean? Obviously, the world of gambling is opening up. They're advertising sports betting on ESPN these days. Obviously, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Calvin Ridley is not the only professional athlete betting on games or gambling on sports, period, but he is the first major athlete to be caught. Obviously, we're not talking about homeboy from baseball, Pete Rose, but we are speaking of this current era. Now that it's being promoted everywhere. You can do it in casinos. You can do it in bodegas. You can do it online. AC uses plenty of the sites online.
Don't be telling that.
I mean, you said it plenty of times on here, AC.
It's true. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell anything that you haven't, but you know I'm from. We don't do that. But what I will say, AC, how is not only the NFL but the NBA and all major sports platforms and leagues going to govern these players from doing this? Because I think it's naive for any of us to believe that Calvin Ridley is the only pro athlete betting on sports now that it's in the palm of our hands. I could bet. I got 4 different ways to bet on the game right now. A couple of them legit, couple of them behind, under the table. What are the leagues going to do, AC, to kind of stop this?
They are going to crack down like hell. What this does, and we touched on it before the show, and I couldn't disagree with Ralph any more than I do. But when you read the articles, so when I saw it, I read a few articles. I'm immediately looking at it. When I said hope about Brittany Griner, and I changed that, I don't hope that she goes to jail. I think it would be a benefit. With this case, I hope he goes to jail. Wow. I hope they nail him to the wall. There is, as a gambler, there is zero chance that this man didn't use inside information, that this man didn't know that let's say a teammate, got an ankle injury undisclosed, or he knows the QB, his shoulder's feeling a little stiff. There's no way that he doesn't look at the line and go, this line's 8, this line's 10. I know homie, shoulder's stiff. Let me get on that. And when you read the articles, notice how many times the NFL or whoever's writing the article, that the NFL went out of their way to say that he didn't have inside information, he didn't have this. And the reason that they're doing that is because they cannot have it appear that this is as rampant as what we all know it is. We're all, well, I'm going to assume that we're all from, similar neighborhood, similar background. People forget that just because they make a lot of money, these dudes ain't street dudes, that they ain't hood dudes. And the NBA has already been caught with medical insurance and stuff like that to get that little bit of extra. Calvin Ridley had a $10 million contract with a $6 million signing bonus. He's already supposedly had mental health issues. You can't say that. I know for a fact that he had an edge. He's obviously has an issue gambling, because whatever he did it to the point that he got caught. So whatever he did, he was out of control enough to where he got caught.
Hold on, Ralph. I see you.
So the NFL with the leagues in different states, like I'm currently in a state right now that just legalized sports gambling, and one of the reasons that all states don't have it is because of stuff like this. Because if it becomes obvious that players, especially in the NBA, when Steph Curry casually mentions the over-under when he should have no clue what the over-under is and doesn't get in trouble, leagues and states, this is New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, I think booked $1 billion in sports betting in their legal sports books. I'm not even counting the other stuff. So the leagues will crack down on every player. I'm sure that there's a memo right now. Some of you guys are in direct contact with NBA guys and stuff. I'm sure there's a memo right now. Whatever you're doing, cut that shit off right now. Let it, all the proxies that you're using, everybody in your crew who's betting for you, tell them to stop. Let this shit die down right now till we figure out what the government response is. Because as a gambler who does have to use overseas gambling apps at certain times, because if I'm geotagged in a state and I'm traveling often, I can't place my bets. So a state like Texas, a huge state that doesn't allow sports gambling because of religious reasons, which shouldn't be allowed. A huge state like Texas, huge states like California, if there's any hint of impropriety, it's going to be cut off. Right. It's going to be cut off. And they will nail him to the wall and make an example of him. He can talk that mental health nonsense, whatever. If there's any shred of evidence that he was using, and you can shake your head if you want, but if there's any shred of evidence that he was using privileged information, then he's going to be done, and they're going to make him an example. The same thing they did to Donaghy in the NBA, as if he was the only one in the history of the referees to ever influence the game. Please get out of here with that.
Right. He just got caught.
Right.
Ralph, we definitely want to hear from you. I have a question, fellas. I didn't get fully into the article. I had a busy work day. Now, Calvin Ridley was removed from the team in October.
Right.
Were these bets that they're implicating him on, were they after October or before October?
During. It was during his layoff.
It was November. It was in November that he placed the bets.
So
supposedly it was after he was removed from the team. But again, he's removed from the team in terms of activities or whatever. Just like you could remove me right now. It's not like we're not going to text each other. Hey, how you feeling?
Right.
That whole he was removed from the team is garbage.
And I mean, not for nothing. They see who does a wide receiver text most? The quarterback.
Yep.
So if you've got direct information, if you at Matt Ryan's house the morning of the game eating brunch with him and his wife, and he's like, man, my shoulder's killing me.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Matt, how you feeling today? You're not going to say, hey, the spread against Carolina is -7. This is how you doing? Hey, your ankle all right, man? You good?
Ralph, I know you have some conflicting ideas about this. Talk to me, and then we'll move the mic around. Let's speed it up, fellas. We got other stuff to get to as well.
So first of all, it came out because Calvin Ridley told on himself. So I'm not under the impression he'd be running around making all these bets and then telling himself. That doesn't make sense. That's conflicting. They knew since before the Super Bowl. Facts. So they just now suspended him. And he told himself. So I don't think he was running. I don't think he was, like you were saying, fixing these games. I think it was what he said it was. He bet $1,500 on a 5 games in 5 days or whatever it was, and it was no more than that. I think it's not a big damn deal because he's not part of the team. He was inactive. He had been away from the facility. He was in contact with nobody because they even complained about it back then. They were like, where is Calvin Ridley? Is he coming back? And no one had any clue because he was not in contact with the team. Now, is it possible? Sure. But I'm not going to sit up there and crucify something for something. He said he didn't do it. He told himself. And I'm not going to just blame. I'm not going to just assume, it must be all rampant and he did all this for years when there's no proof. I'm going to go off of what has been proven. What has been proven is he bet on 5 games in November. He had been away from the team for at minimum a month at that time. And he did what he did. I don't think he should even be punished because, as far as I'm concerned, he's a man at that point. He's not if he was betting on Falcons games, all right, maybe
he did. He did. No. He did bet on the Falcons.
He did.
I didn't hear that. I didn't see that.
Ralph. Let me tell you what he did. Let me tell you what he did. He did a 3-team parlay. He did a 5-team parlay.
Okay.
And he did an 8-team parlay.
Okay.
Damn.
And all of them had the Falcons on the ticket.
And did they win?
He had them winning.
Did he win? The answer is no. So what the fuck is the point?
That tells you. I don't want to take too much time, but that tells you that he's got a problem. Right. So if you're betting on the Falcons and you're taking a team as a parlay better. Wait. Hold on. Two things. As a parlay better, you're putting a team 3 times in a parlay because you know something, because you got a good feeling. That's number one. But number 2, before I pass the mic to everybody else, I hate this idea of we have no proof of cheating and picking and choosing. If you come home, I don't know if you got a girl, if you're married or whatever, but if you come home and you catch your girl cheating, do you care when she started cheating? Oh, it's only been a month, so it's okay. No, she's cheating. It don't matter if it's been 2 years, 2 weeks, 1 day, 2 days, 1 hour. If that was the first hour of her cheating, she's still a cheater. You're not going to go, let me analyze this for a second and let me see what level of cheating. Like, was it just a hand job? Was it full on? No, she's cheating. This thing.
Here's the difference.
What are you gonna do?
Here's the difference. If he came up to me and said, "I was cheating. I've been cheating for 3 months," am I supposed to investigate? Has been 6? Has been 12? Has been 95?
Right. You don't care. You don't care.
That does not make sense. If she comes out and says, "This is what happened," that's what happened.
So she shouldn't be punished. So she shouldn't be punished because she told you she shouldn't be punished. That's what you're saying?
No, that's completely different from this.
How?
That's completely different from this.
How?
If she was I'll take it a step further. On your own argument,
fellas,
she would have taken a break. She would have removed herself. Wait a minute. She would have removed herself from the relationship and then did what she did. Is she still cheating? No.
She removed herself from the relationship. Is Calvin really on the? Is he on the Falcons? Is he under contract with the Falcons?
Yes.
The answer to that is yes.
There you go. So end your argument. That's it right there. He's still with the Falcons. Thank you for making my point.
Oh, is gambling illegal in the NFL?
Absolutely. If you're a player,
that's right. I know it is, but I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to ask that question out loud. So Ralph can understand that it's illegal and he shouldn't be doing it, and whatever comes with those consequences, he deserved. Because it's illegal. It is illegal for a reason.
And I'm sure AD can say when I ran track and played ball, they tell you in college, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. When you sit down, coach tells you, and when I transferred from UMass to Georgia State from 3 to 1, they tell you, look, don't do this, don't do that, don't talk to nobody who does this, does that. I'm positive that Calvin Ridley got that talk.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We had an entire, I don't even know what to call it. It was like an orientation for especially in Florida. Mm-hmm. Any affiliation, Coach Billy Joe was down there. You couldn't, like, literally D1A school. You can't accept shit from people. Word. You can't speak to certain people. There was a whole orientation on it. So, like, when we did orientation for classes, if you were involved with the football program, you had to do a separate orientation to learn the ins and outs of how to maneuver. I mean, Calvin knew that he wasn't able to do this. So whether you're telling yourself or not, I mean, who was it? G-Dep? G-Dep went and told on himself about a murder. Yep. Right. He still went to prison. Like you don't get any leniency for turning yourself in because you still commit the crime. Like whoever told on you.
That's my argument. My argument is I don't think it's any more. I don't think it's any more than what he said. I don't. That's all I'm saying. My issue is teams tank already. There's no difference. Look at your Giants. Didn't they miss the playoffs 2 years ago because the Eagles?
Watch your mouth, fam.
Didn't you miss the playoffs? Didn't you miss the playoffs because the Eagles tanked on the last game of the season versus the Giants? Didn't that happen? They took out no, that was last year. They took out Jalen Hurts and put in all these backups, Zach Sudfeld and all these bums in the fourth quarter of a game. They were about to win. Did that happen?
It happened, and there were calls all across the gambling world that they should have been punished for that.
Can I ask you a question, Ralph? Do you think that he only bet one time?
More importantly,
Ralph, do you think he only
Man, you were on the OJ jury. You just giving the benefit of the doubt to everybody. I don't understand this.
I'm saying, Ralph, being a person who bets, it's never just one time.
It's never once.
It's never just one bet. So, like, whatever he's telling the media and stuff, and like the media's coming out, oh, he bet this and he got caught. Like, I'm sure there's been multiple bets that were made in place. He just can't catch it.
I have a question.
And to further cement that, go ahead.
I have a question. What if he does not bet? What if he was in New York State and
he wasn't
up here? Wait. Wherever he was, Caesars. I don't know about down here, but in New York State, Caesars everywhere. Caesars Sports, they're everywhere.
You can't
simply took part for the first time into promotion. Put up 500, got the free money, and put up 3 bets. What's the harm? That's his first bet.
Because you cannot bet on he's an employee of the NFL.
It is in your NFL contract not to do that, Ralph. It is in your NFL contract that you cannot do that. And he signed it. He read it. He had his attorney read it. He probably had his mama read it, and then he signed it.
Probably not.
Ralph, I think Ralph, let me help you for a second, Ralph. I think what you want to argue. I think what you want to argue, and I disagree with this for the record, but I think what you want to argue is this rule an outdated NFL bylaw or something like that. I think that should be your argument. This other argument is probably not a good argument.
It's a bit racist and a bit
racist.
Racist?
Yeah.
What?
Because the owners who are all white do the same thing all the time.
Oh my God!
Here's 100,000. Hey, remember what is
But they didn't sign a contract saying they ain't gonna bet.
Ralph, I have these new wonderful technologies where I have now muted you.
Racist.
Zap his ass real quick. I have temporarily muted you for a moment, Ralph, because you just called it racist. We can't hear you, family. We are going to move on. We appreciate the insight. We just want to be clear over here at SNT. We do not think the rules around sports gambling for professional athletes is a matter of race. We do not. We retract that statement from my brother Spicy Ralph. We're going to unmute Ralph now. We're going to
racist.
Man, hey, that's why they don't take nothing when we do. When it is a matter of race,
hey, like, come on,
fellas. I want to transition.
Your advertising could be right here, J5. We will take advertising from white companies too. We'll take it.
Okay,
fellas, I want to talk. We got two more things that I got to talk on. We got our main topic, and we're gonna break down the top 10 shooting guards all time, and really quick, I want to touch on the playoffs are shaping up. We do have an idea of who will be there. I want to just pass the mic really quick, and I want each person to give me a potential dream playoff matchup that you want to see happen this season. We're gonna let Ralph redeem himself. Ralph, we want to hear what's a dream series that you're kind of eyeing. Either conference, just give me two teams that you think are going to give us a really good series. And again, nothing completely hypothetical. Like, don't give me a play-in team with like a 5 seed, because that's just not realistic. It has to be according to it. Got to be relative to the current standings, given the top 6 and of course the 4 play-in. Give me a dream matchup.
Milwaukee, Brooklyn, with Ben Simmons actually playing.
Oh yeah, you're speaking my language.
That's a play-in, but all right, we'll separate.
No, you can use the play-in, but I didn't want you to use like you get what I'm saying. Like that's a real series. Like if we're going to be a play-in team, if we make the play-in, we'll likely have to see Milwaukee. We'll be at the bottom, they'll be at the top.
Go to the playoffs. So go ahead.
Fuck you. AC, give me a dream playoff matchup that you want to see happen.
Unfortunately, it's 76ers and the Nets.
I hate you, Aaron.
They both, if they could both lose because they're two despicable teams with disgusting players, I would root for that. But I would be curious to see how the NBA spins it, because you have 4 out of the 5 major players in that series. More if you count the full Nets roster who quit on their team within the last 2 years. So I'd be really curious. That's my dream matchup, just to see how the NBA spins it, just to see what they say. The other one though, the other one in
Zap. We just had to make my dog AC. I love this shit. Hey, Wiz, you should have been showing me how to do this. AD, give me your dream matchup, man, that you're looking for in these playoffs.
Mine's is in the Western Conference.
Okay,
I'm going the Grizzlies and the Nuggets.
I was about to say that before I was muted.
You only get one shot, bro.
I think the Nuggets are gonna beat the Grizzlies though.
No, but this it's not. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
No, AD, it's on you.
Oh yeah, but it's not about who wins the series for me, Adam. It's more about what the series could possibly be. You got Michael Porter possibly coming back. You got Jamal Murray coming back. You know, we got the young and inspired Grizzlies. You know what I mean? Top 2 seeds right now. Are they for real? We want to see that. You know what I mean? And I just think those two styles of basketball, those two team styles, they match well against each other.
Yeah.
Real quick, Denver fully strength is not a good team. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter don't get along when they're both together. Last time they were together, they did not play well together.
Ralph, I agree with you with that. Michael Porter wants to be the number 2, not Jamal Murray. I agree with you with that.
They don't play well together. Yeah.
Whose turn is it, Noah?
It's Les, Adam, and then myself. Oh, and Ralph went. Yeah.
We had to mute him.
Unfortunately, this guy, Mr. Carter, took my pick. So I'll add some juice to it. I want to see the Nets in Philly play, because I want to see a throwback playoff series. I want to see some physicality. I want to see some anger, some beef. I want to see the crowd just all over Simmons. I want to see the crowd all over Harden when he comes back.
Hey.
I want some action, some hard fouls. You know, Embiid's going to put them hands on somebody. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great series of those two teams.
Embiid's going to put his hands on somebody.
Yeah, and like physically. Yo, why are you making this weird? I'm talking like a hard foul, dude.
Yeah, like what's he gonna do that? Like you gotta be careful with hard fouls in this era.
Hey, that's why I said
hard fouls turn into flagrant twos, and you can be suspended. Now.
That's why I said I want to see a throwback series. Not to mention the refs are holding the whistles now. The games are getting more physical. I think that series could have a lot of spice. But my dream matchup, which is not going to happen,
unless you get one shot.
Thank you.
Oh, fine.
Go ahead.
Lakers Celtics.
That'll never happen.
It'll never happen, but Lakers Celtics. Come on, I hate the Lakers. They hate us.
Zach.
Yeah,
that's what you mean. Zach.
My turn.
He said dream.
My turn.
All right, Adam, it's on you.
Celtics versus the Nets.
Jackpot.
And because the reason why I want to see it,
we're gonna bust their ass.
Hold on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be epic because Kyrie is only allowed to play in 4 games.
Now he'll be able to play all of them by then.
No, he's allowed to only play as of right now, as it stands. He's only allowed to play 4 games in the series. Now, hold on. Now we're gonna see how good Durant really is.
Oh God, here we go.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm
gonna say. I don't understand that. What did you mean by that?
What do I mean? I mean that everyone thinks Durant's the best player in the world. Listen, everyone thinks Durant's the best player in the world. All right, but the rest of the group thinks Durant is the best player in the world. So now it's going to be squared off with Boston and their role, Tatum and Jalen and their role players versus Durant. Hopefully Ben's back, because if Ben ain't back, it's going to be ugly.
Ben will be back in 2 games. 2 games he's coming back.
Well, it's going to be epic because I think it might go 7.
It's not going 7.
It's not going 7. Oh, okay.
No. That's
what I said. Hold on, and I want to say Celtics are going to come on top.
No, they get rolled up in this pack.
I would bet that money, but Noah won't bet because he learned from last year. But that's a different story.
No, I don't bet guys like you, AC.
Adam, do you think the Celtics are going to win because you just don't think Durant is what everyone else thinks?
I know he ain't what everyone thinks. I know he ain't. But all I'm saying is,
see the angle.
Listen. I understand that, but
hey, we don't got time.
The way
hey, Adam, I don't want to zap you. I'm about to zap you, dog. I don't want to zap you. I'm going to zap you, though. I want to see this, man. I want to see this. I want to see the Lakers and Golden State. I want to see that.
Lakers don't want to see that. That team's trash bags.
The Warriors don't want to see the Lakers.
As poorly as the Warriors are playing right now, I don't know. It might be
inconsistent. They're inconsistent.
I think the Lakers suck, but I was never high on the Warriors this season. It was fool's gold for me all year, and I knew it. I think Draymond has just raised his stock drastically simply by not playing. That was the most genius thing he's ever done. He's a very smart basketball player. His presence, his leadership, everything is missing from that team. They have no heart. They're getting thugged out there. And Draymond sitting back watching the numbers go up, man. His stock value is raising really, really high.
You're gonna burn stuff
out. I'm almost on perfect timing, man. I'm proud of myself. Fellas, we're gonna get into the. Actually, you know what? I got a little extra time. We got 2 other subtopics I want to talk about real quick. Porzingis came back. The unicorn is back. Dropped a quick 25. Helped the Wizards get to a. Obviously, we like the way Spencer's fitting in Dallas. We like the way Spencer's fitting in Dallas. Porzingis, the unicorn, is now in Washington. First game back, 25 points, got him a dub. I want to spend the mic really quick. We all know Porzingis is talented. He's just never healthy. What does Porzingis' return mean for Washington?
Nothing.
AD, go.
I guess it's like a little bit of hope for the play-in, I guess.
Because they are 1 game out of the play-in.
Right.
And they're getting healthy.
I guess it's a little bit of hope for the play-in. They ain't shit, but hey, it'd be all right.
Now, if Porzingis plays well, and this is the second part to it, if Porzingis plays well and they have a young nucleus of, say, Kuzma, Porzingis, and Beal, does that encourage Beal to resign?
Did you just hear what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit sounds terrible at best.
Kuzma's not having a career year, bro?
Yes, I'm impressed with Kuzma.
Yeah.
But it's just disgusting. That trio, like, oh, terrible at best. Oh my god. Like you know how a team has to have a trio? Like, you want that to be your trio?
Hey, not for nothing, AD.
I think Brad's out.
Not for nothing, AD. That trio will be in the better half of the league. There's not more than half the teams in the league don't have a guy like Kuzma, Porzingis, and Beal on the same team. More than half the league doesn't have that kind of a luxury. And then you still got Roy. They still got other pieces as well. So something to consider. Les, my fault. Les, what does the return of the unicorn mean for Washington?
It gives them a chance to potentially play better than a 500 ball for the rest of the season. That's probably about it. I don't see anything too groundbreaking with Porzingis unless that guy all of a sudden changes his mindset or something and decides to try and be that guy and be more dominant. I don't know if he has it in him because of his physical, always getting hurt and things like that. But yeah, I think they'll be slightly better. I wouldn't.
AC, do the Wizards make the play-in?
Probably because it's just a stupid move. All it does is just ruin their draft pick. There's no point. There's no point to him playing. They should have acquired him. Said to Bradley Beal, which I don't know why. Bradley Beal's 28 and still talking nonsense. There's no reason to pay him a max. But all it does is just ruin the draft pick. It does give them a chance, I guess, to look at him. Try to say to Beal, I agree with you. I think this is a move for Beal and not necessarily a move for this year. Say, hey, let's get this guy. You got him here and see where they can go from there. Kuzma, his contract is going to be fascinating because we all know that he's what he is, but I think he's going to be the next Tobias Harris. He's going to get a big contract and then suck. I think after next year, he can opt out. Yeah, I think it's after next year he can opt out. And so, if this is your trio, you're going to lose. That's like it is even to say it like you said, disgusting. It doesn't even sound right.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. It's like a lower K. Oh, this is our little three. It's terrible. It's terrible.
This is our little three. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it just ruins the draft pick. But fellas, I gotta go. 9:30.
AC, we certainly appreciate you.
Try not to cry at that poetry reading.
Certainly appreciate it, dog. We'll see you on Wednesday. Ralph, Porzingis, do they make the play-in? Yes or no? They're one game out. Porzingis looks good.
I think they're gonna make the play-in. I feel like that's a future move, not really a present move. It's to try to impress Bill, no more, no less.
Yeah. Agreed. Same question.
I don't think it really gonna make a big difference. I mean, I don't think they're gonna make the play-in, and I don't.
Not a KP fan, I see.
He's just inconsistent. I mean, his whole career has been inconsistent. So you don't know what you're gonna get, and he could be. Don't get me wrong, he could be an all-world talent. We seen what he did in the Knicks when he was on the Knicks, when he was consistent. But I think if he finds his niche and finds his role, it could mean something. But I just don't see it happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do something about that health, man. He does have a max contract. He's getting paid big money, and not being able to stay on the floor,
not producing,
is a major problem. Fellas, before we get into this last topic, I want to spin the mic really quick. We are getting the return of Victor Oladipo. VO is back. given the way Miami has been playing with their rotations, with Tyler Hero playing, I mean, I think it's pretty unanimous that Tyler Hero is going to be the sixth man of the year. I don't really know how there's an argument against it. Given the fact that they found so much success in their rotations and their current roster and their current fits, does Victor Oladipo help or hurt the Miami Heat heading into the playoffs? Let's go.
Oh, me? Oh, sorry. It depends on who we get from Victor Oladipo. Look at Klay Thompson.
Who?
Klay Thompson. He doesn't look right still, in my humble opinion. Is Victor Oladipo going to come back and look right? Is he going to be him, or is he going to be a shell of him who is, worried about his body and whatnot? Because if he's right, he's helping. And Miami's going to be a problem because he can fit in with their style of play. It's all about his health and how he's going to operate. That guy is a bad man.
Well, he started off from the field. He was 4 for 7 tonight. 2 for 3 from 2 for 3 from the 3-point. So,
well, Klay, I believe Klay started off pretty good too. So,
you don't think Klay's playing well?
I don't think Klay is. No, I think he's having spurts. And granted, Draymond's not there, so maybe Klay catching the ball from Draymond versus other players, he might adjust. He might start to shoot better. But I don't. He doesn't look the same defensively. And then it'll probably come around. I don't think his shot is. He doesn't look the same to me. Like he's not a bad player. But the last couple of games, I don't know. Like I saw a game the other night. I mean, he didn't look too good, but it's all about the health and all about the comfort and the confidence in Oladipo's body to me. And if he's confident and he's healthy, he's going to help Miami do what they do, and they just got that much more dangerous
defensively. Oladipo's game is defense.
He can run the pick and pop. He can handle the ball. He can play the point when you need him to. He can move. He could play a small. He could be a little bit small at the 3. He's pretty versatile, and which brings me to someone in the group. I probably shouldn't say his name. Nate Godson. I shouldn't say his name. Was like Miami Heat is like overrated. And I'm like, how? But
he's
hey,
he's a homer. He's a homer.
No, it is what it is.
Ralph, talk to me about Victor Oladipo. Does he help or does he hurt?
It depends on if he can accept his role, a new role or not. Last time I seen Victor Oladipo play, he lost a lot of what made him great. His quickness was not there. He was not very explosive. He looked like he lost a lot of confidence. Now, if that remains to be true, this year, no, he cannot help whatsoever. But if he's able to somehow reinvent himself, then yes. But based on what I've seen, I think it was last year, he played like the first 15, 20 games. He didn't look good, even while healthy. He didn't look good at all. So I'm going to go with no.
Fair. AD, Victor Oladipo, does he help or does he hurt?
He helps them. He's another defender, another ball handler. You know what I mean? For Victor Oladipo, it's just more about his health, and is he going to embrace his role? He's coming into this Miami team. He's probably going to play like 22 to 25 minutes. That's going to be quite different from him.
Right.
I don't know. Sometimes players have a tough time accepting that, and I don't know if he's accepted it yet, due to his injuries. But if he does, oh man, they are very scary. They are very versatile,
deep,
and they're tough. They're very hard-nosed.
Spoelstra does a great job, man. Spoelstra doesn't get enough credit as a coach, man, in terms of just the culture development down there. Him and Pat Riley have a real culture down there. Where it's like, and And nowhere else in the world would Duncan Robinson have like a nickname, right? Duncan Robinson would have had no street cred anywhere else in the world. Playing alongside that team, getting a little bit of dog in him, being around those dogs, it's definitely a culture thing down there in Miami. Shout out to what we got going on. We're still smacking him in the playoffs if we got to see him now. But fellas, the main event is here. I'm not sure if you guys have your lists ready or if you're just going to freestyle this. I'm excited to hear some of these lists. Man, Adam, we're going to start with you, bro. I want the top 10 shooting guards all time, according to Mr. Adam Mellon. Get my handy-dandy documentation devices ready.
Okay, so obviously Jordan.
We doing hey, just before you start off, you got to do them in order, not just do them in order.
Okay,
so. Absolutely, AD, appreciate that.
All right, so obviously Jordan, Cole. I think, to be honest, Cole and Jordan are pretty equal. That's my
what is 1 and 2, Adam? We don't have time for that
shit. Jordan's 1, Kobe's 2. Damn, I never thought of this.
It's tough. I have it written down, and I'm second guessing what I wrote down.
Hey, I'm gonna help you out, right? I'm gonna let you think about it, right? I'm gonna let you think
about it. Actually, Adam, we'll save you for later. AD, you ready?
Yeah, I'll go. I got MJ at 1, Kobe at 2, D Wade at 3, Clyde Drexler at 4, James Harden at 5, Jerry West at 6, Ray Allen at 7, Klay Thompson at 8, George Gervin at 9, Reggie Miller at 10.
Wow.
Who's up next? Les, you ready? Or you want to let Ralph go? Ralph looks like he's ready.
Yeah, I'll let Ralph go because I'm looking at my list and I'm second guessing it.
All right. At number 10, I got Tracy McGrady.
Starting at 1, Ralph.
Oh, you want to go I went the other way around. I got you. Hold on. My bad. Number 1 is the GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Thank you.
Number 2, it hurts me to say this. Kobe Bryant.
Why does it hurt?
I've never been a fan.
All right, I respect that.
Number 3, D Wade. Number 4, I got AI. Number 5, James Harden. Number 6, George Gervin. Number 7, Clyde the Glide. Number 8, Ray Allen. Number 9, Klay Thompson. Number 10, Tracy McGrady.
Not bad.
Les, are you ready?
Yep. Dana, wherever you are, I have a little something for you, brother.
Oh,
yes.
So I got Michael Jordan number 1. I have Kobe number 2. I was back and forth on this a lot, but I got Wade at number 3.
Back and forth.
Yep, I got Wade high. I have huge. I don't even like Wade. That's the crazy thing. A lot of people don't realize that. I don't even F with Wade. I think he's a dirty player, but he gets it done. He just gets it done.
You don't.
But I have Wade at 3. I have 8. Say what?
You said you don't what with him?
I don't really mess with Wade. A lot of people don't notice. I don't like Wade at all. I don't mess with him.
You said I'm still you Rondo too. Yep.
No, I have Wade at 3.
Yo, Les, you mean fuck? You don't fuck with Wade?
Yes, sir. Yes. You guys are terrible. Y'all trying to get me to hell.
I do not mess with him.
Oh, AI for I have Clyde at after AI. Then I have Harden. Then I have Iceman. Then I have Reggie. For those who don't know, Iceman's George Gervin. And then I have Ray Allen. Surprisingly, I just kept on coming back to Ray Allen there for 9. And 10, DC, 'cause I know you don't like this era, but Sam Jones, 10-time NBA All-Star, clutch player. F Jerry West. That dude couldn't hit a clutch shot
10
to save his
rings?
life to win a series.
10 rings?
I didn't even bring Golden rings.
Yo, it's like you just
one of
said
the best jump shooters. Matter of fact, probably the best jump shooter of that era when jump shooting wasn't at a premium like it is now.
Yo, dog, you just was talking, vouching for this Pilgrim Jerry West last week. Now you going against him.
Yes, Sam Jones.
So Jerry West is not a top 10 shooting guard ever.
Sam Jones is better than Jerry West.
Yes. I threw that in there for DC. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I said that. Yes.
What? No, you going? You said I'm ready.
Empty stats. Weren't you all just talking about empty stats earlier today?
No, you go on your list? Because I got mine.
Yeah, Adam, you're up.
All right. MJ, Cole, Drexler, Wade.
Hold on. Drexler over Wade?
Adam, I was going back and forth with that
because
all
listen,
afternoon.
I'm
with you.
No, you don't have to know.
I know it's my list, but I think Drexler is a better scorer than Wade. Because Wade was talented as Wade is. Wade's more athletic. But
Is he?
No, can I change my vote? Adam just convinced me. I'm moving.
Anyways,
I'm moving Clyde over Wade.
You guys see way more basketball. I didn't get to see that much of Drexler.
Okay.
He think because that hairline was receding that Clyde, they called him Clyde the Glide for a reason.
But
I'm gonna send you some tape, Adam.
But he was also around 6'5", 6'6". Do you like Wade's only 6'4", and to see what Wade did athletically, like he's I think he's top 3 for shooting guys blocking shots.
No, like he's the all-time leader.
Oh, okay. All right. So like to do that at 6'4" in a league of most shooting guards is 6'5" and up. Like you're the leading all-time shooting guard block. Like you have to be pretty athletic.
Damn,
you sound like you're making a case for
Let me finish my list. So Drexler, Wade, AI, Harden, Clay. Oh, I picked Clay. Ray's my favorite shooting guard of all time, but I only picked Clay because prime Clay because Clay's a better defender than Ray. Right. So Clay, Ray, Reggie, Tracy.
Adam, and I'll be real quick about this. So my issue with Clay is you had to use the word prime, and meaning that he's only had, I'm assuming when you say prime, he only had a few years where he was whatever elite or whatever word you want to use.
But he was a two-way. Like he locked up and he got buckets. Like dude, what I don't understand is like a lot of people, like Clay owns a lot of records. He owns a lot of records, and people don't realize that. Like most points in a quarter, most 3 points in a game, most
points on 11 dribbles.
Exactly. 60. And he hasn't been like. I mean, he's the number 2 guy. He's the number 2 guy on the team. So you have to give credit where credit's due. Like he when I say prime Clay, I mean before he got hurt.
Okay.
Now we don't know what type of career he's about to have. We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know what he's going to finish out as. But when he was balling, he was balling.
How old were you when Ray Allen started playing? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, you gotta see Ray in Milwaukee.
I remember. I do. He was athletic. He was, but defending wise, like I remember Ray. I watched when Ray was at UConn. Like I don't remember when. Like I mean, I don't. Ray was one of my favorite shooting guards when he was on Seattle.
Mhm.
But I was a kid. Like I'm not. I don't. One thing about me is I don't bullshit. I don't pretend like I seen all his best years and stuff like that. I was born in '88.
I really appreciate that too.
There's only so much I've seen that I can that I was mature enough to understand. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, that's why I always respect you guys when you guys talk, because you guys seen it at a mature level. So like sometimes I know like when I say stuff, like you guys correct me because you guys seen it and you guys remember it off rip. Like I was a kid when I was watching these games. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I wasn't like so, but yeah, I remember Ray, and Ray was dominant. Ray, he didn't become a great jump shooter until later on in his career. He was mid range. He was good. He was
a scorer. He was a
scorer.
He was a scorer.
Professional scorer.
Yeah, and then
Ray could
in the number one, like those were his teams, and that's why it's difficult for me to put Clay over Ray, because I've been following Clay since Washington State.
Yeah,
I've been following Clay from Washington State. We've never seen Clay have to deal with those pressures every single night. When you get a chance, like Adam, I'm not that much older than you. I'm 85, so we was in that same boat in terms of, but like to our benefit, we have so many resources in terms of being able to tap back into some of these older games. You get a chance, man. Watch some of those playoff series with Ray at the helm over in Milwaukee. And you're gonna see why it's difficult to say Clay is better than him, because you caught Ray at the back end. You caught Ray as a role player. When you got to see when Ray was the guy.
There's a reason why Kobe hates that man.
I remember.
And I'm not, you know me, Adam. I'm never for changing nobody's mind. I'm telling you, spend a little bit of time next time you got a little free time. Watch Ray in Milwaukee. You're gonna text me like, yo, bro, put Ray above Clay for me.
Yeah. Yo, listen, hey, right? To piggyback off that, just you two, right? The Milwaukee Bucks against Philly 76ers series. Ray Allen against AI. That's all you need. That's all you need to know.
What year was that, AD? Oh, what?
2000 or 2001.
0102. It was
0102.
Yeah, I think it was 02.
Yeah.
It was
0102. I was tight, bro. I was tight too, Ralph. I was tight.
Watch that series, Adam. You're gonna text me like, yo, bro, switch my joint real quick.
No, it was legit in Donahue book. That was a Donahue book. It was fixed.
And in that game 7, Ray Allen got hurt and came back. And he came back.
I'm gonna watch it.
But try to definitely watch that series, but just watch more late 90s, early 2000s Ray, and you'll be like, all right, this is different.
Watch
different.
Milwaukee Ray. Watch Milwaukee Ray.
For sure. My list, Mike number 1, of course, Kobe number 2, Wade number 3, Harden number 4, Clyde number 5, Jerry West number 6, Tracy number 7, Iceman number 8, AI number 9, Ray Allen number 10. And honestly, I prefer Ray over AI, but man, that 01 season that I saw from AI, man, winning the MVP, I just can't. So that
Yo, fellas, is AI? Is he a shooting guard or a point guard? Because that's why he wasn't in my. Oh man, hold on.
Yeah, remember Snow was the PG over there.
Yeah, but no, that was for a few years. Then he went to the 1. Remember, AI averaged like 8 assists, 9 assists. Like he started to play the 1. So that's why
I was shocked when you didn't say AI. I was going to ask you.
That's the only reason why I didn't have him in my 10, fellas. I thought he was a point guard.
That's why Jerry Russell. That's why Jerry Russell. I got my point.
I gotta do my list over, but I could do it real quick too. Like really.
See, I moved AI up pretty high on my list because of that year, because he had an MVP.
Yeah, that matters.
And the other guys on my list didn't have an MVP.
Let me do my list real quick. I gotta do it over. I gotta put AI in it. It's gonna be quick, no.
On top of that, like, AI pound for pound, 6 feet shooting guard, like he was dumb.
I mean, out of 13 out of his 17 seasons, AD, they have him listed as a 2.
Right. So I gotta put him at the 2, man. Let me just hurry up. Let me just do this real quick. I got MJ number 1.
Yeah.
I got Kobe number 2.
For sure.
I got Wade. I got Wade 3. I got Clyde Drexler 4. I still got Harden 5. Now I got Jerry West still 6. I got Ray Allen, Allen Iverson, Klay Thompson, George Gervin,
And Reggie's off.
and by Reggie.
See you later, Reggie.
And it's nothing against Reggie. Like Reggie can have that 10 spot too. What it is for me, man, like Reggie don't got enough all pro years for me, man. Like he played like 20 years and got like what 3 all NBA.
He averaged 16. He averaged 16 points for his career. Again.
But a lot of that was affected in his late years, Adam.
Yeah.
I mean,
certain people like you gotta like. Sometimes the numbers do tell you. Like for instance, I'm gonna give you a great stat for you right now. Right, the numbers is gonna tell you Tim Duncan's a better rebounder than Kevin Garnett. Correct?
Yes.
Right. So then why doesn't Tim Duncan have any rebounding titles, but Garnett has 4?
Because I think KG, as much as Tim Duncan's fundamental, KG's energy puts him above a lot of players because he.
I know the reason why he's a better rebounder because once KG got to Boston, he started sacrificing. Right, he was chilling. But before that, he wasn't a better rebounder. It's a reason why Kevin Garnett had 4 rebounding titles and Tim Duncan never had.
I'm not mad at that argument at all, AD. But I do have a question, and no, I want your input on this one too. How do you guys feel? Oh, Ralph and Adam, obviously you guys too. So I apologize. I shouldn't just. I target those two for a particular reason. How do you guys feel about? Let's use Reggie Miller. Because he's a 3-time, because I just looked it up. He's a 3-time third-team All-NBA player.
Yeah.
How do you feel about? Because my defense to that would be, well, he played with Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler.
Too bad.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get that first team or second team. But is that a fair defense, or am I looking too deep into it?
Nah, the reason why, Les, right? So you telling me, right? We know you can't fuck with Mike. You already admitted that he could, like Reggie couldn't fuck with Mike, right? Mm-hmm. But you telling me you couldn't be better than Clyde Drexler a few seasons? So you just basically just submitted like, oh yeah, the reason why he's always on third team because there's Mike and Clyde. Like you can't be better than Clyde not a few times, like out of your career, like 3 out of how many years? Clyde is. He is. What'd you say, Ralph?
Reggie Miller was better a few years towards the end.
Well,
late 90s, like 96 and on, Reggie Miller is a better player.
It's hard. Well, yeah, 96, yes.
So I don't know if I'm making it. So I don't know if I'm making an excuse for Reggie for that, because maybe because I like Reggie, I'm making an excuse. I'm trying to get some objectivity outside of my line of thinking because I value all teams.
Clyde only has one.
I'll say this. Les. There are plenty Reggie Miller kind of players, and I'm not talking about style. I'm talking about if you look at Durant. Durant had to play in LeBron's shadow his whole life. He still got 6 first teams in LeBron's shadow. Mm-hmm. And moreover, then he's got another 4 second teams. This is in LeBron's shadow. This is in the rise of Giannis. This is in the rise of Kawhi. Right. This is in Carmelo's shadow. At some point, you got to elevate. You got to elevate, and the excuses. When you want to be mentioned in those conversations, you got to find it. It don't got to be every year. We're not asking KD to be LeBron. We know there's a difference there. But some years you got to just exert yourself. Some years you got to put your stamp on those years and get that award, that acknowledgement. And like obviously, I'm not comparing Reggie Miller to Kevin Durant, but there's a lot of situations like that. I mean, if you look at AI, you know what I mean? Obviously playing in somewhat of Kobe's shadow. Like those guys, they made themselves notice. Like you weren't going to just give it to this guy every single year based on the fact that he's really good and he is the apex of his position. We're here too. And I just don't think Reggie did a great enough job doing that. And that's no knock at Reggie.
Yeah, I don't consider it a knock.
I mean, Michael Jordan casts a very big shadow. You dig what I'm saying? So it's not easy to just kind of poke your head out of that, like, hey, I'm Reggie fucking Miller. Nah, it takes a lot. But at the same time, shit, Mike was gone after 98. So Mike was gone after 98. He made them finals runs early 2000s. He was still relevant then. It should have been more then. Kobe was a bench player. Mike's out the league. What's your excuse now?
Right.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so maybe I am just doing it because I like Reggie or whatever the case is. So
I think we all like Reggie, but I think Reggie is one player times we don't hold him to certain standards simply because he's just not on certain tiers. You dig what I'm saying? Like the higher up you go in tiers and caliber of players, there's just higher barometers. And Reggie isn't held to some of those barometers simply because he's just not on some of those tiers.
Yeah, because when you see Reggie. Again, kind of like Clay, I hate to keep picking on Clay. I've seen Reggie carry a team. Granted, he didn't carry him very far, but that team was his team. And he had the Davis brothers and Mark Jackson, and whatnot. So
Chris Mullin.
Yeah, Chris Mullin came later.
Finals. That's not likely he can go to the finals. They did go to the finals. I mean, they lost, but he did go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I mean, they ran it to Shaq, and there was just no answer for that.
But people don't give that man Rick Smith any credit. Rick Smith was tough, yo.
He was.
Talk about AD.
Rick Smith was tough, yo. 7'4", great touch. Like he actually fits this era more than he did than that era he played in.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Fellas, man, this was a good one, man. I certainly appreciate all you guys making time. Adam, we love you over here. We appreciate you stopping by a little more often. Ralph, we love you, man. We appreciate you.
I see.
You already know. Les AD, this is what we do, man. This is SNT Podcast, man. We are the intersection of sports and culture.
Can I ask one question? Can I ask one question? All you guys
go ahead, Adam. Hey, don't ever interrupt my closeout, fam. But go ahead.
I apologize. Who's the best player in the NBA right now?
Giannis.
You think Giannis? No question.
Yeah, it's Giannis. It's Giannis or Jokic.
That's who my pick is. Joker.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I say. Joel B had 43 and 14 tonight, but that's
Joel
Embiid.
Joel
Embiid.
Joel Embiid. Yeah, he had 43 and 14.
KD is still the best player in the
27.
Healthy is KD. KD is still the best when he's healthy.
That's the problem. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. When healthy. That's the problem being a basketball
Well, then KD had 37 and he looked terrible. KD.
But,
you're right. Ralph. Don't get me wrong.
To piggyback on what AD's right. Like we always helps part of being great.
Adam, hold on. I tell you what we can do. I gotta wrap this up. We over 2 hours, but we'll be in the green room when I close out live. SNT Podcast. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Intersection of sports and culture. Make sure you tapped into everything we got going on. See the commish, get your merch, rep the game properly. See us over at Clubhouse. Shout out to Smooth, SNT Sports across all social media platforms. SitandTalkSports.com. It's SNT Podcast, man. We out.